Hi, buddy. I love you. So, I don't know if you've seen my previous video, but basically that was a very quick video about me being in line for a COVID-19 test. So here in our state, they decided to open testing centers for healthcare professionals and for first responders to see if they've been exposed to COVID-19. Which, I mean, probably at this time, like the virus is just really like everywhere in the United States. But of course, as a healthcare professional who visit patients who are at risk. So I don't have any symptoms. I don't have a fever. I don't have a cough. I don't have any shortness of breath. I just want to make sure that I'm not carrying the virus, because the last thing I would like to do is to be a super spreader, like that woman in that South Korean church who like spread it to like 200,000 people. Are you getting bored with me? So anyway, so I was in line. Okay. I got in there at 8:48. I was supposed to be there a lot earlier, but yeah, I woke up a little bit like later and everything. So I went in there and there was already like a bunch of cars, like a bunch of cars. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to make it to 250 if that is the case? So I went to the very back of the line, which is probably like, well, in my estimation, that's probably going to be like a mile and a half away from the, from the entrance to the testing center. So I'm like, well, I mean, I'll just have to do my laundry, so I'm just going to see if I'm going to get in. So I waited there, and I sincerely thought that the entire process was going to be done in an hour. And that's why I didn't bring my car chargers. So we finally started moving probably around like 9:20. So at 9:20, so cars started like inching, and so I was doing stuff. I wasn't waiting for for anything pretty much. So we just kept inching. And before I knew it, it was already like 11:30, and I have to teach an English class in about like 30 minutes. Remember that was like my new gig, pretty much, kind of like to replace acting for a little bit. So I had to message my student from Europe, and I had to tell him that, hey, I'm at a COVID-19 testing center right now, and I didn't think it was going to take this long. So I've been there from 8:48, and it was already 11:48 at that time. So I've been there for like 3 hours sitting in line, and I haven't even been to step one. So step one is pre-screening. So they're going to take your temperature. So my temperature was like 98.6, which is like perfect textbook like temperature. And then I had to show my driver's license, my health insurance card, and my work badge. So I had to put that on my dashboard, and then I had to close my windows all the way up for the second part, which is queuing. And they were supposed to do a lot of things. They were supposed to ask me questions about like why I'm supposed to be high risk and everything. But I think they saw that I was an RN on my work badge. So yeah, I didn't even have any of those questions. So they took down all of my info from the information that's on the dashboard. I thought I was going to be asked more questions, but no, they just had me turn off my engine, and then two guys in hazmat suits like basically came in and put in a long swab over here, which I have a deviated septum. This is the septum is kind of like deviated, so that was kind of like a little bit uncomfortable, because it was a very long swab that they have to put to the very back of my nose. So I was kind of like tearing up, but you know what? It's like it's worth it to know if what's my COVID-19 status. Well, with all of that to say, I really hope I don't test positive.